evening, depending on wherever you are at in the world, and depending on what time you watch this video. Welcome to this channel, Freya's Crone. My name is Melody. Um, for those of you who are new to this channel, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, and thank you for all the love and support that you've given me on this YouTube journey. So when you come into this video, give me a thumbs up or a fonzie, whether you are watching it live or you're watching it after it's already streamed. Leave me a comment in the comment section below and let me know how this general reading resonates with you. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and hit that little notification bell so that you know when I post videos or go live. All right, so don't miss your video. All right, so this video is chakra messages. This is what your angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides want you to know to help, what they want you to know and what chakra they want you to work on to assist with your transformation. All right, this is also for the star sign of Cancer, and we are working on your north node energy. So this is talking about your north node, your transformation, your destiny. All right, so you could be Sun Cancer and have north node in some other sign. That's perfectly fine. If you do not resonate with your star sign messages, go to your natal chart up where what sign your north node is in. That will be better to understand your messages. Okay, just giving you a heads up. All right, so we're going to start off with an ancestor message, but before I get started, you need to know that we are protected doing these readings. Have both of these cards out, and we're calling on Archangel Metatron to come in and help clear out those chakras so that you can trust your vibe and feel secure to walk into your destiny. All right. So ancestors for Cancer Collective. Can we have a message for the Cancer Collective, please, and thank you, when it comes to what they need to know and work on for their transformation? Okay, Cancer. All right, so you need to be more flexible right off the bat. You have a tiger on the card. You need to know that you're heavily protected at this time and that you are the gateway. And I feel like, yes, you are in the gateway. You are a unicorn. You're very unique. That's why you're so protected. Yeah, look, simplicity. Seeing angel feathers. What do I mean about the gateway? Full moon to full moon, because we got a blue moon happening this month. So the full moon started out in Scorpio. The next full moon will be in Sagittarius. So this is transformation period. That's why I was guided to do these messages here. All right, Cancers. So we have thriving. So you not only have a tiger as a spirit animal, but you have a giraffe as well. And you have adventures. So to me, there is a parakeet. Parakeet represents communication. Okay. So your ancestors are coming through with these two messages. Cancer, African savanna. In African savanna lives the tree of life, the baobab tree. This is a prehistoric species that predates humans. It's over 2 million years old. It has adapted, survived, thrived in a harsh environment where so many other species have gone extinct. The baobab can live up to 5,000 years and can be almost 100 feet tall. It is a succulent, which means that in the rainy season, it absorbs and stores water in its enormous trunk. Now, Cancer, you are a water sign. What other tree lives near water is a willow, okay? The water helps it produce a nutrient-dense fruit in the dry season when the land is parched and arid. These remarkable plants provide shelter, food, and water for both animals and humans. It is one of the only plants in the world that doesn't drop its fruit where it would spoil. It stays on the branch where it dries out. When picked, the fruit has a 3-year shelf life. It's probably why it probably doesn't have to drop, because the giraffes will eat it off the tree. Look at that tree illuminating, right? Something to look at, this planet in the background. Okay. So your ancestors want you to know, Cancer, if you draw this card, you are a survivor. And not only do you survive, but you use situations that others might find challenging to thrive. You expand when others shrink. This may be the time to adapt to your circumstances rather than be overcome by them. You have a remarkable ability to step beyond any challenge. You are strong. Others may find shelter in your energy, and right now that's okay. Through giving to others, you are in turn nourished. This card may be urging you to step into the primordial, powerful, wild part of yourself. Doing this will increase your vitality and contribute to your overall well being. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. My cat's sitting between my feet and his whiskers are tickling my feet. He doesn't like rain and storms and all that. He doesn't even like the sound of rain. He hides. So that's why he's hiding out between my feet. So his whiskers are tickling me. All right. So first of all, they want you to know that you are stronger than what you think you are. You have the ability to overcome challenges when other people cannot do it, right? See, the giraffe talks about seeing things from a higher perspective. This talks about, because they have such a long neck, right? Seeing things from a higher perspective. That wisdom lies within you to see things from a higher perspective. When you see situations that are challenging, you're able to rise above it. You're able to adapt. All right, so beautiful opening up message. So the tree of life, something about the tree of life for you. This is a number 5, which does talk about changes, but it also talks about the challenges that bring the changes. So, symbolically, water usually relates to emotions. Moving water is moving and fluid emotions. So, Cancer, you are a water sign. Not only are you a water sign, but you're a cardinal water sign, which talks about you are the leader, right? You have leadership powers. In other words, you are the leader. That makes you to be able to stand in that power, to see things from a higher perspective, to be able to take leadership of your life, to overcome any ball or anything that is thrown at you, right? Because you're the leader, you're the cardinal sign. You also start new seasons, right? We have the new season coming June 21st. Cancer season starts. That's the summer season, right? That's the leader of the new season. The season changes and it changes into Cancer. All right, something about that you need to know. All right, so it represents letting go and release. Water to represent spirituality, and moving water can represent spiritual rejuvenation, regeneration, and renewal. Water falling from a great height, lofty waterfall, intensifies every meaning of water. The power of the moving water doesn't allow life to be stagnant. It activates new experiences and adventures. Your ancestors want you to know that something exciting is around the corner. You are entering a new frontier filled with expansive energy. Begin to look at your world in a new and different way, right? How you're seeing something, perceiving something from a higher perspective. Sometimes that sometimes that you thought was mundane, something, I don't know about sometimes, something that you thought was mundane, or someone whom you may have overlooked, will open the door to new opportunities and a bigger and bolder way of living. Be willing to see the world around you in new ways. That's a giraffe energy. Don't be lulled into complacency. In other words, don't be lulled into shrinking yourself, making you smaller, right? This card appears when you're ready to remove your blinders and take action so life doesn't become stagnant or lackluster. It can also signify incredible spiritual attunement and spiritual voyages. So you may be going on a trip, a voyage, a new adventure where you're not just in a thriving mode or the survival mode. You are in action mode. You are flowing. You are spiritually advancing. You're learning to see things from a higher perspective. You're gaining illumination. There's a lot of pink on this card. Brown talks about your root chakra or your earth source chakra. The enlightenment coming from the pink energy is love, compassion. um there's a lot of birds on this card, so you may be feeling a lot of love from your ancestors, a lot of love from the divine here at this time. So you're definitely being asked to be more flexible and adapt, because you're definitely divinely protected on this card that is showing you see through this gateway on your journey. All right. Oh, look at this. We have the blocked heart chakra coming through. I didn't even ask, but that one popped out. So you have a blocked heart chakra. The heart chakra is giving and receiving. The blocked chakra is the air energy. Now, at this current time, we have a lot of air in the air, literally. Mercury is in Gemini, Venus is in Gemini. Um, the sun and the moon are about to both enter Gemini within the next, if not today, at least the next 2 days. You have a lot of air energy around you. So you may have Cancer, you may have Gemini in your chart strongly here. The heart chakra is the air chakra. It's also the fourth chakra. So Cancer rules the fourth house, feeling comfortable in your own skin, feeling comfortable enough to overcome any challenges, be more flow to spiritually advance, maybe even going on a trip. Maybe you're flying or going, because air represents air, flying in the air. Um, but you have a blocked heart chakra, which talks about giving and receiving. Also talks about communication, giving and receiving communication. Maybe you have a problem with, maybe you're being challenged with expression, being challenged with being able to listen to what other people have to say. Maybe it has something to do with criticism, taking things personally. All right. Um, so I do see that a couple of drafts on there. There's 3 drafts on there. There you are center, and then you got one that's off a little bit to the left, and then there's one, a little teeny tiny one that's way in the back. Maybe you feel like you're way in the back, right? You're always picked last. You're the last one on the list. You're always, see, it talks about feeling small. What you say does not matter, right? What you have to communicate does not matter. So why express it, right? That literally blocks your heart from receiving love. It also blocks you from receiving expressing compassionate words, but also receiving compassionate words, such as receiving compliments. Thank you, Spirit. Receiving compliments. Um, it also blocks your receptive flow, because we do have the birds on there. Definitely about communication. Maybe you're afraid to communicate because you don't want to rock the boat. Maybe you're a kind of person who grew up that kids are to be seen and not heard, right? Um, being receptive to compassionate words, being receptive to um, compliments, right? So let's go ahead and pull chakra cards for Cancer. I'm telling you, heart chakra, your heart is blocked. 23, earth magic. Feel comfortable in your rooted self, right? Something about that root chakra. So 123 and May 23rd could be significant. 5 May 1st could be significant. We got 123 coming through here. We got the 1. So 231 could be significant when the 1 should be in front of the 2. So it's like you're a little right, you're a little off. So you're actually being asked to ground your energy. See all the brown earth star energy. You can see the bare feet walk on the ground, right? Um, it's very important. I seen that on the thriving card too, to help you to unblock your energy. See, you got your hands on your heart. Having your hands on your heart also blocks that energy. Somebody could be lacking compassion. Somebody could be lacking uh somebody could be very insecure here. Comes to, like I said, expression, to other people, expressing love or accepting loving words. All right. So 23. Compassion, love, community, forgiveness, unconditional acceptance, inner peace, and wholeness. So you could be holding on to grudge, which is literally blocking your heart chakra. Why? Because you may not understand forgiveness, the power of forgiveness. Okay. So healing, making amends, the willingness to release past pain, being responsible and accountable, taking time to get healthy renewal and rebirth after suffering. So somebody may have to take accountability here. Somebody may be unwilling to release pain, find forgiveness. Um, Somebody may be unable to make amends. So yeah, 23, that's that 5 energy. 5 May 23rd, significant. When you are wounded emotionally, you need time to regroup and find your center. You have recently endured a breakup or a betrayal, lost someone close to you, or lost an affiliation that you gave too much more to. That could be why your heart chakra is blocked, because of somebody that you were close to who could have betrayed you. Maybe you gave too much power away to them. Maybe, that's that root chakra. Maybe they earned your trust, right? Maybe they earned your trust. And then they betrayed you. And maybe they don't want to take accountability for what they did. Perhaps you're watching someone go through a difficult time and feel bad that you can't help them. Maybe you're still not over a past disagreement. No matter the cause of this heart, deep healing is called for. Yeah, that's that waterfall energy. This happens on its own timetable. It can never be rushed. The path to healing the heart centers on reciprocity, the flow of giving and receiving, right? That right here. See the water flow? The birds represent communication. So, yeah, you could have somebody who betrayed you on purpose, right? They could have been doing root work on you. They betrayed you on purpose. It's like they walked on your heart. You opened them up and they walked on your heart. Sometimes wounding occurs because you become too dependent on another. This is accompanied by the desire to manipulate or control outcomes. So somebody could have manipulated you, manipulated you into earning your trust so that they could turn around and betray your heart. This is somebody who lacked compassion. Somebody who they don't want to take accountability. They don't want to take responsibility for causing this pain. They did it to control a particular outcome. And what they did it to control was to block you from receiving a new adventure. They did this on purpose. May 23rd could be significant. June 23rd could be significant. Instead, they put themselves first because they were in this ego energy. So they definitely could have did earth magic on you because it says earth magic on the card. Both wounding and healing usually begins within, not from the outer conditions of our lives. That's what that thriving is, overcoming a challenge. We often believe we can be wounded only by others, but we do more damage to ourselves in the self-sabotaging way we think or behave. It is important to heal yourself and become willing to release the pain of the past, which can be tempting to revisit. That's holding on to that grudge. It's time to take responsibility for your part in this healing journey. Look for ways you can help and others. Are you willing to make amends if needed, or conversely, accept someone where they are without trying to influence their growth success? Healing the heart in all aspects is your priority now. Nothing else matters. Only beauty and goodness will come as a result. Okay? So definitely heart chakra energy, blocked heart chakra. So earth, money, family, inherited traits, survival, right? Thriving, survival, instincts, primitive instincts, security, stability, and the material world. Somebody was only interested in the material world here. And that's why they betrayed you. That's why they did root work on you. Um, they wanted to keep you in survival mode. They didn't want you to open yourself to receiving perhaps your spiritual inheritance here. Being grounded in nature. Oh my goodness, look at this. Being grounded in nature. You can't make this stuff up. See, nature. The quiet, dark place where all things begin, where essence is first ignited before manifestation. Knowing you are part of the earth, she is part of you. Earth magic speaks to the intrinsic relationship that you and all living things have with the consciousness of the earth, also known as Gaia. Imagine the oak tree that begins its journey as an acorn, gathering the life force energy. Now, you may need to go watch the the Gemini reading, because the Gemini reading started off with that oak tree. Um, Gathering the life force energy it needs from earth so it can sprout up from the ground. Because you're a part of nature, you follow the same cycle of manifestation. Everything you are, your evolution, and the successful manifestation of your dreams begin below the surface of consciousness. Till an idea comes, conviction takes hold, and something meaningful is planted. Be still for a moment. Quiet your thoughts and imagine anchoring your energy to the sacred quality of being part of the living earth. Do this mindfully to connect to this divine intelligence with the power to create the perfect form from the essence of a tiny spark of life. Indeed, this is miraculous. The message now is to trust that your seeds you've planted in your field of dreams are in good hands. The earth is a conscious divine source of love that is doing its part on your behalf. So, all about love, the heart. Slow down, take in the beauty of your life now, and trust that to your you are intending is being nourished and is growing. There will be plenty of time later to tend to your garden, to water it and weed it. Great magic is germinating underground, working its way to the surface to deliver more blessings than you can imagine. Let it. So be in the flow. Water that seed with a lot of love, a lot of tenderness, a lot of compassion, a lot of caring, right? Don't water it with resentment. Don't water it with anger. Don't water it with guilt, right? Don't water it with the negative emotions, because it's actually blocking your activity. So you're definitely being asked to go outside and walk on the ground. Look at all the stars in there. For some of you, you may be also being divinely protected by Mother Earth. Okay. So that is particular somebody out there. All right. So what wisdom does Cancer need to know with healing the heart? Release. So this is crown chakra energy. So you're being asked to lay to rest the ghosts that are haunting you. Right? Release it. That's crown chakra energy. See that you are, for you possess the power that you have not yet to understand. You may feel daunting, but great freedom awaits as you meet your shadow self. And that's what you're being asked to do. Meet the shadow side of some sort of ego that is blocking your heart, that needs to be healed. Profound inner wisdom is coming to you. Stand steady. You are more than you know. So it's about facing that ego mind that has limited you, that is blocking you to grow, right? Maybe things that you tell yourself, the emotions that you feed you, the words that you feed you, right? Because this talks about ghosts in your closet, the ghosts from the past. You need to let that go. Release it. This talks about your transformation, laying things to rest. Somebody's going through an ego death. Earth magic. Earth magic. Can we have some wisdom on the earth magic card? Yeah, you need to find that state of balance. See, you got people upset. There's 3 people who are upset. And then we have the heart chakra, growth. Um, so the growth card talks about being in a hospital. It talks about, somebody being in a hospital and passing away. All right. Just letting you know. All right. So balance when it comes to earth magic. Balance is your thigh chakra, by the way. This card may indicate a reluctance to change. You may be hesitating because of the past. I'm telling you. But that doesn't mean you should be hasty. Weigh all sides before moving forward. This can mean the start of a relationship. Proceed slowly. So it talks about the reluctance to change, the reluctance to open your heart, the reluctance to release the past. It talks about holding the grudge. Somebody holding grudges. Look how she's got her hands at her heart. Hands over their heart. This card implies personal commitment and following one's heart. It's about honoring your growth and the growth of others. There's a sense of courage and abundance and an ability to stand tall. How about that? Stand tall like that giraffe. This is a time to uphold what your heart knows is true. Okay. Let's take a look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, rejection. So somebody may feel rejected. But what you need to understand and see from a high perspective is that you were not rejected, you were protected. See, you got spirits around you. Because you're very psychic, you're very intuitive, you are this mystic, you are a medium, the power of your prayers to turn lemons into lemonade. This talks about the challenges that you've overcome, right? Maybe leaving sour taste in your mouth or sour taste in other people's mouths, and now they're holding grudges. Or maybe you're holding a grudge, feeling powerless, right? So the heart has the wisdom, right? Divine feminine. The heart has the wisdom. Okay, so release. Give me some more information on release. Releasing the pain in the heart. Release crown chakra, heart chakra. Give me some more information for Cancer. Okay, so we have the Eight of Coins, which talks about mastering something, mastering the craft, putting the work in, right? We have the King of Swords. The King of Swords talks about somebody who lacks authority, somebody who is a manipulator with their words, right? The Empress, somebody who, works on, the Empress is somebody who lacks compassion, lacks empathy, lacks authority, somebody who's very verbally manipulative, somebody who works on making other people works on um, somebody who works out of the shadow side. Yeah, we have the strength card here. So definitely somebody who lacks courage, somebody who lacks strength, somebody who lacks compassion, somebody who is a verbal manipulator, somebody who likes to cause drama, somebody who's an energy vampire, and somebody who has mastered that, right? With the Eight of Coins, this talks about root chakra energy. So I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you have mastered Cancer. You could have mastered um, Seven of Pentacles, planning, something about plans. Somebody's a master manipulator here. Somebody acts out of their shadow side. Somebody lacks authority over their life. What? Lacking compassion, lacking empathy. Somebody who works on creating a lot of drama, right? Spreading a lot of lies, spreading a lot of rumors, trying to ruin somebody's reputation. Somebody who perhaps works with other people here. Um, the Strength card in reverse talks about, especially with Strength card being fire energy, a Leo energy, it's like you're too busy listening to somebody else's words, right? Holding grudges. See, three people: King of Swords, an Empress, and the Strength card, Leo. The Empress could be a Taurus or a Libra. Look, the scales of balance. We definitely have Libra coming through here. So one of you could be a Cancer, one of you could be a Taurus, and one of you could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So it's like you lack self control, right? You lack self control of being verbally manipulative. It's like you give your power away to everybody. That's what this healing of the heart is, giving your power away to people. And then holding grudges. Maybe it's somebody when it comes to the work relationship, because we have the Eight of Coins here, right? So something needs to be left go of your thought process. So you may think, oh, I'm better than other people, right? So what do you need to release is grudges, because you do not have authority or power over somebody else's how they react, or you cannot control other people. You can't control what other people think. You can't control what other people say, right? You can't do that. Yeah, family, talking about Cancer, there you are, the moon. So it talks about those illusions, right? the illusions that you create in your reality. Being envious, somebody going into somebody's dreams and attacking them, work with other family members. Why? Because you're in competition, right? Competition, very competitive when it comes to work. Somebody who, you know, likes to attack people, verbally attack people, right? Slander their names, slander who they are, trying to ruin their reputation. Could have been working with other people, right? This talks about dreams. It talks about the wounds that we hold on to, maybe mother wounds with the Empress there, because the moon does represent mother energy. Healing family wounds. Look, King of Cups, somebody who's heartless, somebody who's verbally manipulative, comes off as charming, but is verbally manipulative. Somebody that maybe you work with at home. Clarify the king words, the Hermit. So the Hermit talks about going through that dark night of the soul, putting in the work to heal those wounds, of feeling powerless, of giving authority away to other people. The Hermit card talks about, with authority card here, the King of Swords. Somebody could be in, somebody could be imprisoned in their, or this is somebody who likes to tell tall tales, right? Out of the dark side, out of the dark empathy side. This is a dark empress. This is somebody who is a master manipulator. This is somebody who, you know, is always planning their next move. Definitely somebody who could be doing earth magic, verbal magic, trying to ruin somebody's reputation, trying to control a narrative here. Somebody could be doing necromancy. Mm-hmm. On a World Wide Web. Somebody's really, really paranoid. So somebody could have went into somebody's dreams to make them paranoid. Because why? Because they don't want them to complete a cycle. The Nine of Wands talks about paranoia. Somebody's very paranoid here. Somebody somebody doesn't want to face their shadow side of how they emotionally manipulate somebody. This is somebody who is a dark empress. Dark, if you don't know anything about dark empathy, go look it up. Balanced growth in earth magic. Knight of Coins. So this is a repetitive pattern that you need to address when it comes to giving your power away. This is a shadow. We did say we seen the world card that talks about repeating patterns, right? Repeating that cycle. Refusing to grow, right? Refusing to take accountability for something. This is what I feel. Somebody who's refusing to take accountability, to change the repetitive patterns, to release these shadows. This is somebody who lives in the shadow side of the Empress. This is also somebody who is holding a grudge, maybe feeling as though left behind, because release talks about the shadows of past people. This is somebody who holds grudges. Yeah. Why? Because somebody didn't want to work with them. Because somebody is very envious that somebody is single, sexy, and successful. So somebody does, it's like they're holding on to grudges, right? Because they don't want somebody to grow. So somebody could have did some sort of earth magic at the hospital. Somebody could have did something in somebody's backyard while they were at the hospital. We've seen hospital card here, right? Somebody could be receiving karma. Somebody could be having bad luck, right? The Ace of Cups talks about insight, self-love, right? Somebody could have been trying to destiny swap, doing root magic to destiny swap with somebody. Could have been a Virgo. Give me clarity on the Strength card in reverse, please, and thank you. Yep. Somebody paid off a karmic debt. The cycle is over and somebody is refusing to let it go with the Strength card in reverse. Somebody took advantage of somebody's generosity by betraying them, feeling they had divine authority over a person. Now somebody is in spiritual jail, is what I feel. Somebody's in spiritual jail. This talks about the Six of Coins is the third eye chakra, seeing something, right? Because look, you can see she's illuminating something. The light is illuminating the pentacle. Somebody is refusing to put in the work. The other person does all the work. Somebody likes to repeat patterns of holding grudges, refusing to grow. All Virgo energy coming through here. The Six of Coins talks about opening yourself up to giving and receiving. And somebody's always looking for that handout, right? A handout. Here, let me hand you something. So you can see there's 4 coins down here, right? Always hanging on to something. And you got these 2 coins up here. See the hands catching those 2 coins. Somebody who's very materialistic, right? Very greedy with these 4 coins, right? While the other person is so generous that they'll do without to make sure other people have. That cycle of being taken advantage of or somebody taking advantage of somebody's generosity is over. 7 of Cups. The illusion has cracked. They're able to see something from a more emotional perspective. This is somebody who's making some sort of a choice to listen to their intuition. Because why? Because they've healed the heartache and despair. Right? Now they're about to be thrown in the spotlight. Give me another card on the Knight of Coins in reverse. King of Wands. Somebody is very competitive. Very competitive. Jealous, envy, comparative. And that's what the thriving card talks about. Being competitive. Or was the healing of the heart being competitive? Jealous, envious. Likes to take advantage of people. Feels as though they're going to win this battle. So they're going to keep competing, right? Keep competing. So, and turning people against somebody here, getting them to hold grudges by spreading a lot of rumors and lies, trying to ruin somebody's reputation. Look, 7 of Swords. Look, 5 Swords. spreading a lot of rumors, spreading a lot of lies, backstab, betrayal, playing on somebody's childhood wounds, somebody who's afraid to face the shadow side, to find happiness within. Somebody who's always looking for a handout for they feel that a handout is happiness. They feel that giving money is a form of happiness. It's not. Money can't buy happiness. Money can't buy happiness, and that's the truth. hmm Now you have somebody coming in, trying to verbally manipulate their way back into a door, being a player. Somebody could be blocked as well. Yeah, their plan got blocked. Somebody's plan got blocked, right? Because somebody took divine authority over their life and decided to cut some cords from people taking advantage of them. Yep, Cancer. Bringing in that state of balance between your masculine and feminine energy, between your darkness and your light, taking authority over your life and moving forward. Why? Because you've seen something from a different perspective. This person tried to sacrifice you, doing earth magic, because they were in competition with you, trying to steal your ideas, trying to snuff out your flame, trying to block your inspiration, block your flow, right? Block your flow of communication from the divine, right? By creating drama, conflict. This person was in a power struggle. They're very competitive, right? Now they may want to come in and ask for forgiveness. hmm The Emperor. This is somebody who is of authority. Can I have some shock and love for Cancer? But what you need to know here, Cancers, is that that cycle is complete of people taking advantage of your generosity. People coming towards you always with their hand out, whether it's emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually. That cycle is closed. You have found a state of balance, right? You are generous, but you're being selective of who you were being generous with, is what I see. So you really need to complete this cycle of um, grudges, holding on to grudges. You've been through that dark night of the soul, right? You've been in that hermit mode. You've been in solitude. You've not been isolated. You've been in solitude. Somebody could be sick. Somebody could be sick from using necromancy, from abusing their magic. And it's this person who is acting out of their shadow side, this dark high priestess, that now they could be feeling powerless for abusing their authority over you. They think that they're the master over your life. I'm getting dog master, right? Treated you like a dog, thought that they could master money, master. Their plan was to master you, to be your master, right? Their plan was to be your master. You be their dog, and you be their dog, and then be your master. But you took a divine authority over your life and took your power back. You didn't allow this person to take control over you. It's because you've seen something from a higher perspective, that they were envious of you, right? They were competing with you, right? And that they literally was trying to block somebody from coming towards you. That's what they were doing. Trying to block somebody from coming towards you. Trying to block your your divinity, right? Block people from watching over you. Give me. letting go. Sacral chakra, carnality. Letting go is not giving up. Sometimes it's the first step towards success. So you need to let go of that emotion that you have in your uh, sacral chakra. Release it because it's limiting you. This person could have been doing, absolutely could have been doing necromancy on you. Absolutely. All right, what else? Playing on your emotional body. Embrace the balance between earth and spirit, chakra balance, clear quartz, rose quartz, and hematite. What did I say about balance? So that you complete this cycle. Because this talks about going on that adventure, a spiritual adventure. Maybe going somewhere near water, or maybe even going to another country. It depends on who you are. Maybe you live in another country. Divinity, crown chakra. Recognize the divine in the mirror. Blue lace agate. That's this. Oh, I dropped it. That's this piece. Blue lace agate. If you want to know what that is. I don't have carnelian out here, but I do have clear quartz. That's this. And I don't have rose quartz out, and I don't have hematite out. I have it, I just don't have it out. Foundation is what your castle is. The castle of your soul is built upon. Look, hematite again, root chakra energy, and that's that earth magic. They were trying to burn your castle down. They didn't want you to build a. They didn't want you to master building a solid foundation. They didn't want you to master whatever you were working on.